Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Cove. My name's Michelle. Thanks for joining me today. Still working on some craft scrap busting, should I say. So I pulled out some more scraps and I found some of these laminated flowers that I've had forever, like ever and ever. And I need to use some up. So I was playing with just layering them. I did a couple here, just something super simple. And then throwing some stitching in it. So this one, for example, I can use as a tuck spot or a journal page here. This one has this sewn in the side, but has this really cool like white coconut paper behind it. And this guy's 4-leaf clover. You need one of those, right? So now I've got these two, and these have been laminated, so just run through a lamination machine, and I did that a long time ago, and I've had them for quite some time, and I want to use some up in some ephemera ready to rock when I want to add them to a journal. Just kind of glue them in. But I'm trying to think of ways of kind of using up some of these scraps at the same time, so maybe making some clusters and making the flowers the focal point. So I want to use these up. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of playing. And again, using some scraps that I've had. My sewing machine is acting up a little bit. So don't know if it's going to cooperate or not. I am going to sew off to the side just because my sewing machine doesn't fit underneath my camera properly. So I don't want to drag it over here and then you can't see what I'm doing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm not using any glue right now. I'm just kind of putting things down in a way that I can sew. So I'm just going to sew some stitches in here. Be right back. Okay, so just threw some stitching in there, just pretty random, just to hold all the papers in place. So I can still do things with it if I want. Where did I put the rest of these? I don't know. I just threw them somewhere. Yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to use them up. And then maybe we could turn them into something else. That's kind of pretty, just like that. Just like that. What do we think? Can ink it later. I like that. Okay, so that's one. Maybe create a little pocket too. Or maybe just create a pocket so this can go in. Now I'm going to sew it. What else have I got in these piles here? Okay, so I'll sew that one. This has got some sewing already. Find some more images here. That one's already got paper in it. It's kind of fun. You find yourself with lots of scraps and thinking, what can I do? What can I do? I get to the point where the scraps take over and then I find it exhausting. I want to use them up in a way that I can add them to a journal very quickly if I choose to. It's just something that simple. I'm just sewing it together. It's a little bit lost, so maybe I'll put something with a higher contrast behind it. It's got some handwriting on it. I like the blue. Just to offset the flower a little bit, so it's a little bit more of a focal point. Something like this. And even if I sew it crooked, it won't matter. None of it matters. It's just for fun. And something like that. Okay. Okay, so sewed those. This one you can see I did crooked. Doesn't matter. just for fun. This one I just sewed down the side, so it's still open to manipulation. You know, we can still play with it. So let me gather up the ones I did. Let's see if we can use our scraps even further with these and create something else. So maybe, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to use up some of these bigger scraps here. Get my glue stick out. Maybe I'll put something down just to stop me getting glue all over them. And we could do book page inserts. So I do work right now with this size journal. So I want to make sure I don't go much bigger than that. That works. Take my focal point like this and build on it some more. So let's glue this down. Let's see if I can get this glue to work. It's at the end of its life. I keep leaving the cap off. So it needs some acetone to thin it out. I'll throw this up here. So as you can see, I do work with a lot of neutrals. It's just what I like to work with. So we can leave it so that it opens, but I think I'm going to glue this closed. And maybe put just something here so that we can write on it. And then maybe add like a little tag. I love these little tags. Something that simple. Trying to use up as much of my scraps as possible. And then maybe we could turn one of these into this one. Turn this into a little tag itself. I'm trying to think and talk. Clearly I'm not very good at it. Let's round the corners off here. Get your little journaling card. Cut these strings off. I don't want that many. I need sharp scissors. I don't know why I keep grabbing the same junky scissors. I gotta throw those away. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I sharpen those ones, they just don't like cutting. Just gonna clean this up just a little bit. I don't mind a little bit of the frayed, but I don't want tons because then it gets on my nerves. Okay, so I might ink this guy. This is brushed corduroy I'm using. I do like this color. Maybe put some on my little doohickey here. And then maybe another one of these cute guys right here. I have other stickers too. What else have I got kicking around? I'm notorious for not pulling things out. It's pretty bad. And I have plenty of stuff to work with. I just never pull it all out. This is that. Oh, here, let's add a number. I love numbers. Is it weird to like numbers? These ones I mounted on some spare watercolor. Let's pull this guy out here. Just do something that simple. And you can add, say, foam tape to the back of this so it sits up, but I'm not going to bother today. Just going to ink the number a little bit. Tone it down. And glue it on. Okay, now do I have my little hole punch thing? I know I have my round one, we'll use that. I was looking for my oval one, but this will do. We'll throw one of these guys in there. And then a piece of scrap. Maybe this guy. Maybe a couple of these. I like these. Let's put these in there. We'll use 2. These little scrap bins on the desk have become pretty handy. I use them for my scrap papers, my scraps that I've finished using for the day, like this sort of thing that I'm tying on right now, those kind of scraps. There we go. So now I've inked this, so I might add just a little bit of ink to the outer edge of these, but I do kind of like the white, so I don't want to go overboard with it, but I should probably add a little something something and grab all these ends that are not glued down. Like this corner here kept poking up. Okay, so then there's that. Maybe around the corner here. This guy's peeling up too. A little bit of glue on there. There we go. And then throw this back in. So I've used up a pretty significant amount of bits and bobs. Could also even go in here if we wanted. That can go right in a journal. So we can glue it in. We can paper clip it in. We could tape it in. Maybe we'll do that. We'll tape it to the end here. Just make sure it's got enough clearance. It's a bit wide. Find another piece. This journal's getting pretty full. That will work. Wish I had my stapler. I really do. Something like this with some tape. Oh, what tape do I have handy? Don't have a lot of tape kicking around these days. I've got my green tape, but that's a bit green. Let's try it, see what we think. There's only one way to find out, and it's just tape. If we don't like it, we can change it. Just gonna put this down here for a sec. See what we think about it. Might actually go over top of that one. So that's just painter's tape. So it is pretty vibrant, so I think we'll neutralize that a little bit. Kind of generous with the ink pad here. Just tone it down. Sorry if my camera's shaking. I have to push pretty hard. That's better. I like that. There we go. Got this put in there now, and it flips out, so you can still journal all over it. Maybe put a little bit of tape on the inside for reinforcement. Not that I like the painter's tape. I'm just going to clean up the edges a little. Also covers the back from sticking too, if you've left some space there like I did. Sorry, I know it's shaky. There we go. We could also even glue a cluster here, because we can do whatever we want. So like that one. I love my 4-leaf clover. That's so cute. What a nice little surprise. All right, let's put it in. So just another way of using up scraps today, using up some what I call focal point pieces. So in this case, the pressed flowers that are just laminated. I've also shown a pressed flower varnish technique if you don't love the idea of plastic in your journal. I will try and remember to link that video below of how to use a varnish to cover your flowers. I have one handy here. I'll show you how I did those. Not how I did them, but I don't think I have any left. But I just use a basic varnish over top. It's a furniture varnish, so it dries with a little bit of flexibility to it. It's not a thick coat varnish where it will crack. And it's a non-yellowing, so it's a really nice little addition to have in your repertoire for pressed flowers. So that's just an idea of using up scraps again, something very simple, and then turning them into something functional. I've lost my tag. It fell out somewhere. No surprise. Pretty rough with my journals. So again, you can turn them into pockets. You can turn them into, oh, here it is. Journaling spaces, little hidden compartments. There's all kinds of fun things. You can make a corner pocket. Just using up your scraps and again, using what I call a focal point in your clusters. So I hope that gave you some ideas. I hope you have fun. Enjoy crafting, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.